You know, young rich niggas. You know, so we ain't really never had no old money. We got a whole lot of new money though.
If young Metro don't trust you, I'm gonna shoot you.
Hey! Raindrop, drop top, smoking on cooking the hot box. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Cooking up dope in the crock pot. We came from nothing to something.
Hey guys, I'll be telling you all a story time. A story time about the time that I quit both my jobs in one day. I had 3 jobs, right? 1, 2, 3 of them things.
1, 2, 3 of them things.
Main job, I would say nannying. I nannied, had 3 lovely kiddos, you know. Lovely. Okay. She reached out to me. I told her my price. She told me a little bit about the kids. She told me to come over for an interview. Came over for an interview, met the boys and the parents, and I liked them. Like, they were really cool, really humble, you know, down to earth, completely different than what I expected them to be. So I was like, okay, cool. So after I left, she texted me. Oh, while I was at the interview, mind you, she told me there's a few more people coming to interview. I already interviewed a few people ahead of you, so like, you know, we'll go with who the kids, you know, like the most, etc., etc. So I'm like, okay, cool, sounds good. I was nervous, but I also felt very comfortable there. So I was like, it is what it is, you know. If it's meant to be, it will be. If not, whatever. She texted me after the fact. She was like, you know, the boys really liked you and we would love to bring you on board, but your asking price is $15 an hour and my husband just started his job. I'm not sure if I'll be able to do that. Would you be okay with 12, because that's what we are paying our other nanny? And I was like, well, I keep saying nanny, babysitter, whatever. That's what we were paying our other babysitter. So I was like, $12 an hour is what I was making, more than what I was making at my other job. So I was like, okay, you know, whatever, I'll take the $12 an hour. So I was working for them, you know. I started in January and it was just like months had gone by, you know, nobody ever brought up more money, of course. Like, she told me also in the beginning that she told me that I would be having the same hours all year round, which was cool because I need stability. Obviously, it's a job. You want me to be stable, you want me to be consistently in your children's life, and I need a consistent paycheck. So let's make it happen. I was working there for a few months, you know. Summer comes around, she's like, mind you, I was telling her I was about to get a new car. I get a new car. The day after I get a new car, she's just basically like, well, there's another child, you know, outside of our marriage that will be staying here for the summer, so can he come along too for the same $12 an hour? Mind you, $12 an hour, like when I said okay with that, it was like, okay, cool, because the 2-year-old and the 4-year-old, they are who I watch like majority of the time. The 9-year-old, he's there for an hour of the time that I'm there. Over the summer, now he's gonna be there the entire day, which means I feel like already then you should have raised the price, but you didn't. Then you want to add a 4th child and still tell me to take the $12. In all this time, they've gone on like 3 Disney trips. They've gotten a new car with a car note, and I'm just like, at this point, I feel like I'm being played. Like, you have a new car, you're going on all these trips, yet you can't afford what your babysitter, who is someone important in your kid's life, is asking. She asked me if I could work more hours there, and she also said that I would be going back to every week instead of every other week, because the other boy is obviously it's school time now, so he went back with his mom, so there wasn't the extra child the every other week. So she was like, can you come back to your regular every week, and can you also come in at 6:30 a.m. every day instead of 10 a.m. until 5:15. So I said, cool, you know, more hours, whatever. But I work at another job as a hostess, and I went out of town to DC for like 5 days, and after that, my manager at the restaurant job basically overscheduled me for my nanny job. So it was like 3 out of the 5 shifts she scheduled me for, I couldn't work. And I was just like, you know, you double scheduled me all this week. I am not going to be able to do it, and I do feel as if Sunday should be my last day. My manager's like, okay, I understand this has to be your last day. I'm so sorry. I can fix your times on your schedule. So that happens. Next thing you know, I come back from taking the boys to the park. We're inside, and Dad comes home, and he's like, oh, you know, talking to me, how was your trip, blah blah blah. I'm like, you know, trip was cool, thanks for asking. Like, mind you, I'm kind of thrown off because he's not like, that he's mean, but basically like he never really goes. The most he goes is, how are the boys today? And I'm all like, you know, I tell him how they were, and then he's like, oh, of course. You know, he just seems like he goes through the motions. He doesn't seem like to be the happiest in his life, but whatever. So he goes, oh, by the way, we finally found somewhere for the boys to go to preschool. And I'm just like, oh, that's exciting. Like, the way he said it, I was just like, yes, like, that's so exciting, congratulations. Like, they're gonna be so excited to go. Not realizing I was getting fired. He said he's gonna be going to preschool. So I'm like, okay, the 4-year-old, that makes sense, because you know in a minute he's gonna have to go to kindergarten. So I was like, oh, okay. So I'm thinking maybe they're gonna be like, well, maybe we'll pay you less and you can just watch the 2-year-old. So he goes, yeah, he's gonna be going to preschool. I was like, oh, that's cool, that's exciting. He said, yeah. He was like, and turns out they can take him too. Talking about the 2-year-old. I was like, oh, okay. He said, yeah, so like they're gonna be going there like 3 days a week, and you know, it's just really affordable, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, oh, okay. He was like, yeah, so that'll be starting September 8th. So September like 3rd will probably be your last day. And I was just like, okay, you know, and I left. So I called my mom like right away and I told her what happened. I'm just like, that's insane to me, because I just quit my job this morning because she double scheduled me, you know, and so I couldn't work it. I'm like, plus she just asked me to work more hours and more days. So like, how can you ask somebody to extend their schedule to you and then let them go in 2 weeks? And I was just like, you know, that was very disrespectful. So I decided to text her. I had to let her know how I felt in the most respectful way possible. The last day that I worked there, I was just like, I didn't even go back to get the money that I made that day, because I'm just like, I don't need y'all. Like, okay. Anyway, I texted her. I said, sorry to text late, but this is just on my mind. I was like, I quit my other job this morning because I was asked by you to go back to my normal hours. I'm like, I just wish that I was aware that you all were weighing out other options, because now I'm in a position where in 2 weeks I'll have to scatter and try and find a job when I have bills to be paid as well. I was like, just like when I was told I would be working the same hours all year round, and that wasn't the case. I was like, I really enjoyed working with the boys, but for me to stick around and finish being used up for the moment would be me continuously forcing the short end of the stick onto myself, and that's something I'm not interested in at the moment. And I would be completely okay with the fact that y'all were looking for them in preschool, but can you tell me when y'all start, the way he said, we finally found them a preschool. I'm like, how long y'all been looking? Like, I'm doing my job. You haven't told me otherwise. If there was something I was doing, that you didn't like, you could have said that. When they wanted to go to the park, they went to the park. When they wanted to eat, they ate. I bought them toys and stuff to play with. I took them to the beach. I didn't have to do that. I took them to the zoo. I didn't have to do that.
And aside from that, I just want to add how I also taught him how to spell his name and helped him learn to ride a bike.
Like, there was so much stuff that I feel like I overextended myself by doing, and they didn't even have the courtesy to even have a conversation and say, oh, I can't pay you more. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just felt like I was giving, and I wasn't giving anything in return. That's the story about how I quit both my jobs in one day. But the gag is, you know, I wasn't stressed. I was not upset, because I was like, you know, God did some purpose. Like, just know, don't let people, like, regardless of the relationship, the situation, like, feel as if you need them. Like, even if it means you have to struggle for a little bit, like, never feel, you know, inferior. I don't think I really gave the most important part of the story. Like, you know, before me quitting these jobs, I was complaining so much about how, like, I really just don't have time to focus on the things that are most important to me, like me being consistent on my channel, and just me, like, working on other entrepreneurial ideas and, you know, stuff that I have in my head. And it's just hard to focus on me when I'm working hard 7 days a week, sometimes on doubles, like, for other people and their dreams. Like, you cannot push for your dreams if you're continuously working hard for someone else's, you know what I'm saying, for not even 1/4 of the pay that they make. So sometimes you have to put other people on the back burner in order to put yourself at the top. And I just feel like it's that time in my life where I need to be put at the top. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. You You know what to do. Comment that thing down below. Subscribe button, thumbs up. Much love. See you guys in the next video. Bye.